everyone. I am Christopher G. Sampayan of Beast A1 Block A. In this presentation, together with my team, we will discuss about topic 19, which is the Philippine Precolonial and Ethnographic Science and Technology. Specifically, the contributions of the certain civilization and the social, historical, and environmental factors that led to these contributions will be included.
Philippines is an archipelagic country in Southeast Asia. It is situated in the western Pacific Ocean and consists of around 7,641 islands that are broadly categorized under three main geographical divisions from north to south: Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. Additionally, the Philippines has diverse ethnicities and cultures throughout its islands. Before the Spanish first occupied the Philippines, the country was already rich with local cultural history ranging from trading interactions with other countries.
Pre-colonial in the Philippines started 15th to 17th century. In the history of science and technology in the Philippine society, culture and technology was developed even before the arrival of Spaniards in 1952. Yes, ancient Filipinos were able to discover slowly and how to create such things that they may able to utilize as they continue to live and survive, through the use of materials that can be found around them or around the place they live in, such as stone, clay, and woods. Even before the colonization by the Spaniards in the Philippines, the natives of the archipelago had already experienced and practices to science and technology. With that, here is Miss Judy and Apduhan to further give us the discussion about the main points of this topic.
So now let's tackle about the development of science and technology during the pre-colonial period. So before we are colonized, early Filipinos already have inventions which form their own culture and a way of living. They contributed in science and technology as well as in the technological development here in the Philippines. Filipinos already have the knowledge about the fire, herbal medicine, manunggul, baybayin, farming, stone, different form of arts, and trading. Our ancestors discovered the fire by rubbing the two stones continuously to produce heat. It is then started by using the fire to cook foods and to produce light, as well as to protect themselves against the cold weather and from wild animals. Our natives used to explore our environment until they discovered that they can use herbs to cure diseases. We are aware that in the past, there are no medicine that was produced by the laboratory. The only medicine they got are from the natural resources or in our environment. They also had their own methods to produce herbal medicine, such as extracting the leaves of oregano to cure cough and several illness. So let's proceed to the manunggul. It is a jar that was made from clay and sand soil. It is a secondary burial jar because in the pre-colonial period, it represents the importance of burial practices and the beliefs of early Filipinos in the afterlife. The bones of the deceased were placed in a jar, and they believed that the soul will be separated from the body and returns to the earth to find his or her descendants. Before we are colonized, our ancestors already had their own writing system, which is called baybayin.
Next is farming. During pre-colonial period, they have their own method. Like they use or they oblige to use animals to help them in farming. Also, in the past, farmers would have to do a field work by hand or the use of horse-drawn equipment. We can see that they use carabao to help them in farming, and this work would take a long time to complete. Also, they invented a lot, like they use wood to make baskets and many more. Next is they use stones. For what? The record. Because before there was no paper and they discover to carve in the stones to record the important information or to record the details. The next is arts during pre-colonial period. Okay, we have the manunggul jar, pottery, weaving, tattoo, jewelry, and metal crafts. Arts in these times are used for ritual purposes and for their everyday living. Like like the pottery, it become more associated for their daily use, such as palayok for cooking and banga for stirring water or liquids. Okay, during pre-colonial period, trading or barter is introduced. It is the exchange of goods and services between two or more parties without the use of money. And that way, they can provide their goods that they don't have. For example, people in that time exchange animals or services for food. The question is, what are the contribution of your chosen culture civilization to modern science and everyday living? Like what we've discussed earlier, we already introduced to you the development contribution during the pre-colonial period in science and technology. Those inventions improves lives in many ways. Also, those contributions during that period contribute to modern science because overall the pre-colonial period in the Philippines made a great start of technology advancement using the resources they have. During their time, these inventions are useful to make the lives of people better. As the time goes by, these inventions are useful to make the innovation that we are now using up to modern times. And also, in terms of our everyday living, the contribution has a lot of benefits for people for their daily occurrence. It has been developed, and today we see that almost everything turns around those things. Both help us doing our life task easier and better, improve our knowledge of the world, even save lives, just like the fire. Today, in modern science, it become more innovative. We can now produce fire through gas stoves that make us easier to cook food. Also, in terms of farming, farmers now make their work easier by using technological equipments for farming.
Our ancestors in the pre-colonial period has discovered a lot of resources that can be used in their everyday life. But the question is, what are the social, cultural, historical, and environmental factors that lead to these contributions? So during the pre-colonial period, it highlighted their inventions, beliefs, the development of agriculture, the weapons, writings, and trading, which contributed in Philippine history. In pre-colonial society, the barangay was the Filipinos' earliest form of government. Each barangay was ruled by a dato or village chief who was also known as Raha or Raja. Another is that early Filipinos had superstition, just like worshipping the stone, goddess, and goddesses. Just what I have discussed earlier, Manunggul was one of the form of their burial practices. So much for that. Let's proceed to the environmental factors. As we know in the past, our ancestors are rich in the minerals and resources, which is the form of their living and the foundation of their skills. By this contribution, it shapes our life today. These inventions were evolved that each one of us benefited. Furthermore, the historical inventions was associated with the science and technology which facilitated human life that made us comfortable to live in a modern way. It also gives us the opportunity to have a vast knowledge in terms of their sources and the beliefs of our ancestors before. In conclusion, the pre-colonial Filipinos' contributions helped shape the nation we have today, to make it simple for us to access things and live the life that everyone desires. So that would be the last part of our topic, which is the Philippines pre-colonial and ethnographic science and technology. We hope that you had understood and learned from our discussion. Thank you for your time watching this video, and God bless.
You.